Hey folks, this is Vent with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly revisit Lord of the Rings Return to Moria. About 8 or 9 months ago, I released a guide video on how to progress through the campaign. Things like, what do I do next? What do I unlock next? Where do I go? That kind of thing. And the campaign is great because it structures you point A to point B to point C to point D without too much trouble. There's still a little exploration involved, but it's not as bad as the Sandbox, which I just finished. Let me tell you, oh, the Sandbox, it is rough. So you're going to get a randomly generated Sandbox environment, and not all seeds are going to be friendly to you. You're often going to be running through more difficult areas to get to areas that you really should be in next. So I spent a lot more time dying and respawning and trying to find my body than is normal of a campaign. So I have to warn you of that. And if this is your first time, like, seeking a guide video on this game, I highly recommend that you check out my progression guide for the campaign first. Like, check out that video first because it is structured. It'll tell you what you should be doing next. Sandbox, you have to know what you're doing, okay? You have to know where to go next. Yeah, you could fumble around a bit, but the Sandbox environment is not structured to be easy to navigate, if that makes any sense. So, that being said, today's video is going to focus on showing you all of the different levels and the deeps in this game so that you can, in the hopes, find something that you're missing. So if you decide to jump into Sandbox and you don't know where something is or you can't find something, I'm hoping that these set of maps will kind of guide you in the right direction. You could go, okay, I'm missing this area and it's on this level. I just now have to find it, okay? We'll start with the first level. I started off to the left here. This is the very first starting point when you wake up and all that jazz, having fallen into this place. And you moved on to the Elven workshops from there, at least I did in my playthrough. And then there's the Orc Town down here, and then you've got the Eastern Bastion over here. This is the end game content. This is where you go to cross the bridge at the end of the game and get out. So all of this in my playthrough was on the first level. There's also the third stair and the second stairs here. That's going to go up and that'll take you to different levels throughout. So yeah, if you're looking for something here, I mean, the first level, there's not a whole lot here aside from the Orc Town. You're also going to find the Great Forge of Narvi. That's one of the first ones that you find in the game. So yeah, this is what it is. Okay, so we're going to move on to the second level now. There wasn't a whole lot here in my playthrough. I put down a lot of markers just because I actually got a whole lot more black diamonds in this game, so I created a crap ton of waypoints, like fast travels. So yeah, there's not a whole lot here. You got your Elven Refuge, the Elven Gardens, the Market Gate, Stone Gate. None of this was really important. So I got materials from here and I kept moving. And then we get to the third level, and it was a bit more complicated here. The first mines are in the bottom left, at least it was for me. And yeah, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of key points here to really note. That did lead to the Gun-a-Bad encampment, which is another like orc place that you can go to and beat up the bad guy. But the upper halls were here. You've got Dwarven. That's very important. That's where you start getting the ironwood stuff by destroying the furniture. I personally just enchanted my axe with a particular enchant. I think you need emeralds for that. And every time you destroy a tree or pretty much anything, there's a chance that it drops ironwood. So yeah, Dwarven was hard to find, but it's right here on the third level. Trying to think what else is important here. The Durin Monument is there in the Chamber Hall ruins. The Chamber of Mazarbul is here as well. I didn't explore all of it because I managed to get through the playthrough without having to explore every single nook and cranny. But yeah, the third stair and the first stair are here as well. So that's a quick look at the third level. Moving on to the fourth level. And we've got the Bright Halls, which I believe is on the top there. I didn't bother exploring that. I didn't need to. We have the Red Eye Stronghold to the right here in red. We have the High Mansion Ruins to the south here, which again, I didn't really need to explore that. The only thing I really needed was the purplish area, the Last Stand area, that has mainly the Mithril Forge. Now, that's going to be more endgame stuff. But yeah, the Mithril Forge was actually here on the 4th level. Nothing else really to write home about. A lot of this stuff is just waypoints that I put down and camps and stuff like that. Okay, so moving on to, let's go with the first deep, and then we'll go second, third, fourth deep. It goes first level, second level, third level, fourth level, and then it starts going down with the deeps. The first deep, second deep, third deep, fourth deep. Anyway, the first deep. This is where I made my base, I believe. I put it here in the Spiral Mines. If I have time, I'll show you that. Yeah, nothing really to write home about here. The mansion hall's in the upper left, but there wasn't anything here that I really needed in order to complete the game, so that's why some of this is left unexplored. But yeah, you're going to get this really early on anyway. The second deep is where a lot of your mid-game unlocking is going to be coming from. That's where, like, the sewer is. Like, you have to fix the drain pipes and all that stuff in order to, you know, yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, you'll be doing a lot of stuff here. You've got the flooded deeps, the cavern deeps. I wish they were different shades of purple so I could tell the difference between the two. But just look for these large square blocky area, and that's where the drain is. Just keep an eye out for the warden. I'll say no more if you don't want spoiled on that. But yeah, there's also a drop here. That's where you can go deep down into a mapless cave system in order to mine out some precious gems and the like. Just make sure you bring a lot of platforms with you so you can get down there, as well as a fast travel point so you can get out really easily. So yeah, so like a campfire and a fast travel point. So yeah, I found that here on the second deep. And as far as the rest of it goes, the King's Mines didn't have a whole lot of stuff there. Nothing of importance anyway. I mean, the Ancient Secret. Yeah, okay. I think that was for a quest in order to find the stone that I needed. Again, I don't want to spoil too much of the campaign, but all of that is located here. If you've played the main game, then you'll be very familiar with all of these anyway. Moving on to the third deep. We have, this is important, the Pilgrim Deeps. The Pilgrim Deeps is, I believe, unique. Don't get me, I could be wrong, I could be misquoting, but I believe the Pilgrim Deeps are unique to Sandbox. This is where you're going to find the Pilgrim Library. And yeah, I located that on the third deep, and I had to actually run through the Durin's capital ruins in order to do that, and I was very ill-prepared for that. So I just ran through it, try to avoid as much combat as possible to get to this, so that I can get to the library in order to unlock better things. You also find the Belagost Forge nearby, so if you find the library or you find the forge, it's going to be nearby somewhere. Just look in the same Pilgrim Deeps area for it. As far as the rest of it, let's see, looking around. Lots of stuff here. There's the end game boss, the Shadow Orc domain up here in the upper left. And then the Dragon's Lair is in the upper part as well. So you're going to find a lot of stuff in the third deep. I have no idea what this is off to the right. I'm unable to get to it. I tried looking up, I tried looking down. I'm sure I can get to it somehow, but I have no idea how to get to it. So I just gave up on it. But maybe this path on the bottom here goes to the right, then up. Possibly. I don't know. I didn't need to do that, luckily. But yeah, again, your sandbox is going to vary greatly, but everything should still be roughly in the same place. Okay, so with that being said, I'm trying to see, there's a lot of waypoints here. Let's just make sure I covered everything. Belagost Forge, I already mentioned that. Durin's Forge, yep, I knew there was another forge nearby. Durin's Forge is also on the same level as well. Right in that area here, the Durin's Capital Ruins. Okay, so moving on to the fourth deep. I think this is the last one we will look at. And we've got the Inner Bastion Ruins here. I'm trying to see if there's anything. The Nogrod Forge, the Nogrod Forge is here in the Inner Bastion Ruins. The Mithril Lode. I'm trying to see if there was anything here. The Durin Monument, I think, was the only thing that was really important there. So yeah, I believe that's everything. Again, the game is broken up into first level, second level, third level, fourth level, and then it goes first deep, second deep, third deep, fourth deep. And in order to go up and down, you're going to be coming across things like the Forgotten Descent, the Nameless Descent, also the first stair, third stair, and so on, second stair. So again, I didn't want to draw this video out any more than I have, but hopefully these maps will give you a good indication as to where things are in your sandbox environment. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And for those of you that have played Sandbox before and have any useful tips, feel free to leave comments as well. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.